We have a great show for you. You guys ready to get going? You ready? Huh? We have a fantastic show. This is one of the best shows of the year. I am certain of it, top to bottom. Our first gentleman taking the stage, a very funny gentleman. He is the champion of, as Dan mentioned, this year's amateur contest. And if he wants to, he doesn't have to be an amateur for long. He is very funny. I know you're going to like him. Give it up for Mr. Howard Butler.
Thanks, Brett. Good evening. Bartonville Heights. I think that's where we are, isn't it? Let me just kick this off by giving you a word of advice. Should. All right, I've looked around here pretty good. I don't think there's any cops. So I'm going to ask you something, and I want you to be straight with me. Have any of you ever used traveler's checks in your own town? I do it all the time. And Peoria is big enough. I think the clerks up in my local Amico are starting to get wise to the fact that I live here. So I'm going to have to start going to the Circle K now. The place is too hot. I got to be cautious. I just did 4 years for a broad fraud. All right, 150 people can't be wrong about that line. I didn't used to take long bathroom breaks at work, but then I downloaded Tetris to my cell phone and corrected that. It cost me $7, but the extra John times made me like $4.50. You have to get up early in the morning to fool this guy. You don't really have to, but you should, because he's usually pretty goddamn disoriented then. Really, if you get to him between 3 and 7, there's no need for trickery. Just walk up and slit his throat if you want to. I'm taking a class right now in sign language, and it just started, so we've only covered the most basic words like I and but I always like to peek ahead in the book to the more advanced stuff. And I'm not supposed to be trying these yet, but what the hell. Here's dump truck. Thanks, guys. Here's disposable. How about filibuster? I've been saving my change for a while in a shoebox, and I recently went dead broke and needed a 700 assorted coin bailout. I've long been a lover of wild rice, but I made the mistake one time of trying to raise some in my apartment. I didn't heed everyone's warnings that one day it would turn on me. Now my right hand's covered in tiny oblong scars. I think it's neat how professional anglers, most of them, have never even taken a geometry class. just do it all by feel. How come anglers and pool players have each other's name? I'll take your word for it on that one, too. You know what I think is dumb? When people say there's no cure for the common cold, because there's no cure for the common anything. That's how stuff gets to that status by not being eradicated.